What's up, everybody? It's Make It Make Sense. Today is open panel night. It is y'all's night. So hit that like button as the intro plays because we got a lot to get into.
I was listening to Make It Make Sense. Shout out to Make It Make Sense. Thank you.
Make it make sense to me intellectually.
Sense Mims, who a lot of people have been asking to be on the show.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. Made sense.
Make it make sense. You knew what was up.
Big Mims. Surfer. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
Are you a top or are you a bottom?
Ton, ton, ton.
I am a power top, Garth. I am a power top, Garth.
This is a bottom.
I am a power top.
But I will say meow, because the pussy was in the building.
I am a power top, Garth.
Tell me that was no ball. That was
uh, yeah. There goes my BravoCon, y'all. Okay. So today's y'all's night. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link. Anybody? Oh crap! Anybody is welcome to come up. Lakiba, I saw you were saying that you personally have done. You've had situations where you've had to report elder abuse, and you work for a bank. Oh, Lakiba says she can't. You don't have to come on camera though. You don't have to come on camera. But I know you guys had a lot to say over the course of the last few days. So I definitely promised we could do open panel. And, you know, I think Wendy, for the most part, is definitely, you know, people feel bad for her. But there are people, like I said earlier, who feel like this is Wendy's karma. You're more than welcome to come up too. So we got the first few people. Tonight's going to be a little different. If the stage gets full, then what we're going to do is drop the people in order who showed up first. So as one comes in, as person 11 comes in, person 1 is going to get dropped. That way everybody gets a chance to talk. If it gets too big, if it gets out of control, then we're going to go back to just one-on-one, person at a time. But I trust you guys. So Queen Tulsa, you're up first. Then it's Bonji, Bambina, and Cali.
It's Wendy.
Hi. Hey, Tulsa.
How are you?
I'm good.
Listen here. I'm so excited to show up on behalf of my dear sister, Wendy Joan Williams. And she's an icon, a legend, and a moment. And I want to say that my sister, hello, panelists. My sister is an amazing woman. She has a great heart, and I'm a Cancer. And so as Cancer sisters, we love a little different. We maneuver a little different. Yes, we go through things, but we make it look very easy, you know? And so we always want to put our mental health first. And I believe that my sister, if she was in the care of Wanda and family, I think that she would be in good hands. As far as Tommy, it's a little too early. It's a little too early. I'll go ahead and yield the floor.
Okay. Bonji, you're up. You're muted, Bonji. Bonji, you're muted.
Hey, Mim, sorry.
No problem. So where do you stand? We could talk Wendy, we could talk Little Kevin, we could talk Sean, whatever you guys want.
I am heartbroken.
Mm-hmm.
Not only was
some of the footage shocking. I find it very problematic that even after this crew noticed something was wrong, beyond just her being inebriated or on something, nobody stepped in and said, okay, we need to reevaluate the situation. For example, when Alex, the niece, arrives at the apartment and she's on the sofa, and then Sean enters the room, somebody that she doesn't know, and Alex then looks at her aunt and says, okay, so looks at Sean and says, I haven't met you before. After Wendy says, Sean is sleeping in the other room. If she's her publicist, what is she doing sleeping at her client's house? Something that straightforward being problematic and an issue, and nobody even speaking for her. That really breaks my heart. And Tommy has been using her sister for clout since the pandemic.
Tommy People is Wendy's sister. I mean, brother. Sorry.
Brother,
Wendy's
yes.
brother.
And I don't think he has any motivation whatsoever to not use his sister's notoriety, even now when things are really problematic and hurting for her. When she called Tommy the brother Kevin at that last dinner, that took me out. I felt like I was what do they call it, voyeurism. It was as if we're watching something that we shouldn't be seeing, but we cannot just look away because we love her so much.
Right. It's a train wreck. I mean, but this is technically what a documentary is. You're supposed to really get insight into what the person's day-to-day life is, and that's exactly what we got.
Who's buying her alcohol? That's another question I have, because the manager claiming that questioning her, you drank all this today. Who is buying the alcohol if it's not him or one of the handlers? And the other thing too that I was wondering is, on one hand, they say she doesn't have money. Where did the cash that he picked up from the dresser come from? And why does she have so many people walking in and out of her bedroom, her house, and there's just I don't know how many dollars just lying around?
I think that that's what a lot of celebrities go through. A lot of celebrities have a lot of handlers. I mean, and can't do basic things that we think are basic. They just don't know how to do. I'll never forget, Cher didn't know how to order a pizza. Didn't know how to order a pizza. It's a joke, but it's really like they become basically dependent upon all of the people that are around them. So, yeah, the whole thing was very, as Alex said, jarring.
Okay, Mims, I'll go ahead and drop so someone else can come up.
All right, well, thanks. It's always good, Banji.
Thanks. Bye.
Cali, you're up.
Oh, hi, guys.
Hey.
This was, needless to say, this was extremely disturbing. I will share that my dad also had alcoholism, and he actually stopped drinking because they said that they were seeing signs of him getting early alcohol-induced dementia. So that's what made him stop drinking. And it was the same thing. He passed out, had to go to the hospital. They did a CAT scan, and that's when it was all discovered. I also, ironically, had a neighbor who was in this same exact position that Wendy is in, when she was suffering from alcoholism, developed dementia. Nobody, including her own children and us, understood that she had dementia until like months before she passed away, because she was drinking all the time, and we just thought, oh, she's drunk. She started to do like weird things, but we just thought, oh, she must be drinking like a lot. And the thing is, this person has rights. You can't just stop them from drinking. You can't, like, legally, you can't. And I have a feeling that if they try to take the alcohol away, she'll be unmanageable and she'll probably wander off somewhere and get hurt, and it'll just make the situation worse.
There's no way Wendy could go anywhere without being known, right? Like there's nowhere she could go.
She could end up getting hit by a car. Like anything could happen.
Right.
I know that people don't want to hear this, but I honestly think the dementia is worse than what is being let on. I'm gonna be honest. I don't 100% trust the family, excluding her son and maybe her nephew. The rest of the family and her father, I do, but unfortunately, he's too elderly. They're never going to let a 90, almost 100-year-old man be in charge of something. It's just not going to happen. And I think that he probably has the most sense out of everyone there. And he seems to have the most patience with Wendy. And I'm like, oh, I wish her dad was at least like 20 years younger. You know what I mean? Because I think that would kind of solve the situation a lot. But from my understanding, she's not under a conservatorship. What's happening has to do with this particular bank account. So it gets a little confusing when they start saying things like, oh, she needs the court's permission to move, but she has other money. So why would she, if she's not using the money from that account, why would she then need the court's permission to move? Like, some of these things honestly do not make any sense.
Somebody said she has two now, Cali. They say she has two, a financial guardian and a guardian that's in control of, where she goes and supposedly her well-being. But hopefully I'll find out, because I'm now in contact with somebody involved in the situation. So they will be looping me into more details.
So this person that's in charge, I don't understand, if there's a person that's in charge, how is Wendy then able to hire these other people? Because I knew my mom's friend is a nurse, and she knew a lady that actually, but this lady had a conservator. She could not hire people. The person in charge had to hire the publicists and all these people that work for her. You know what I mean? Like, she didn't have, legally, she could not hire and fire these people. Like, she legally could not do that. So this whole situation is a little bit confusing. I'm going to be honest, that phone call at the end with the sister seemed a bit performative. And I'm not sure if I 100% believe that Wendy is doing so much better. I don't understand why nobody knows where she is. I hope that she's not with that Sean woman. I really am hoping that
we didn't see Sean after she came back from LA. Did you?
That woman scares me. I think that woman is a sociopath, and I really think that if she can get in that wheel, she'll hurt Wendy.
Oh my God.
I don't think that woman's wrapped right mentally. Like, even looking at her hair, and I'm not even saying this to be funny. Like, she's not all there. There's something off with this woman. You know what I mean? She should not be around a person with dementia. She just shouldn't be.
Her hair was interesting.
Yeah.
Queen Tulsa, there are people backstage, so you were the next person that came up. Just thank you so much for being here.
Can I give a closing remark?
Okay, sure.
I was just okay. First and foremost, I take this very, very seriously. Any way that I can help, I would love to help get clips and things like that. I want to be a part of Wendy Williams freeing her. So hashtag free Wendy Williams, and Mims, if it's possible, if I can just really help you on this case, on the investigation team. I feel like she needs justice. It kind of reminds me of the Britney situation, and my heart cries out for her. And I want her to be healthy, but I also want her to live a joyful life, and she deserves it. And when I looked on Google today, it said that she was worth 20 million, but her net worth now is 500,000. So let's just keep Wendy and her sister and nieces and nephews and their son definitely in our prayers. Thank you for having me. I am Queen Tulsa. Until
All right.
next
Have a good one, Tulsa.
Guys, can I just say really quickly in closing,
Uh-huh.
those net worths are actually usually submitted by a PR person, which would be Sean. So I would not believe any of that net worth information.
Not you then turn Sean into single black female.
We don't. Did you? I'm sorry. That woman was giving sociopath. That woman to me was scaring the crap out of me. I'm sorry. I know that Wendy is mean, but a lot of people with dementia are mean. That woman's behavior was not normal at all. And this is how she's behaving in front of a camera crew. Mind you, she knows they're filming a documentary, and this is how she's behaving. So imagine what she's doing when there are no cameras there.
Oh, no, Sean's definitely part of the problem.
Yeah. I hope that she's not somewhere with this woman. And
no, but Wendy's in the facility. Yeah, she's in a facility. She can't get
but
there.
how do we know that?
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna go.
You don't think that Wendy's in a facility?
I'm very concerned with this situation. This is a very strange situation. I will say, as far as the family goes, not really her son, because I'm sure that he loves his mother and he'll do anything for his mother. But the rest of these family members, I have a feeling there's something that is more to the story that is not being told. Their behavior is very strange.
We won't know. We won't actually know until well, maybe because now, like I said, there might be two people that
good reason why they cannot be in charge of these things. So sometimes we might. I don't want to get involved not having all the information, and we end up putting her in a worse situation.
Like I said, I'm now in contact with two people who are actually in the situation. I don't know what I'm allowed to say yet, so I'm not. But one of them did say that they would loop me in and let me know how we could help. So we'll just hold judgment. Cali, thank you so much for coming up. There are people backstage trying to get in.
Right.
Thank you so much. Cali has a Cali can give you a what is that called? What is it called? A conspiracy theory. Cali's in IT, but she should have majored in conspiracy theory. Negla, you're up.
Hey, ma'am.
Hey.
Hi, dear. This situation is really, really near and dear and close to my heart. Mm-hmm. I am approaching this from the perspective, I am a mandated reporter. I work for my state and I'm a notary public, and I'm also a caregiver for my spouse. So when I see signs and things like that, I'm mandated to report elder abuse, child abuse, what have you. I hate to say this, but I see so many signs of Michael Jackson and Anna Nicole written all over this story if nobody steps in. I do understand that she's a grown woman and people cannot tell her what to do, but some type of medical provider should be stepping up and saying something. My maternal step-grandfather died of cirrhosis of the liver, and my biological grandfather died of alcohol-induced dementia. This disease has been around for years, and it merely amplifies who you were before this disease set in.
Wendy, if you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to answer this question. Sure. But how quickly did the dementia set in after he was diagnosed with alcohol-induced dementia?
So for my mother's biological father, 3 years. Now my father's brother passed of, oh goodness, it was inflammation of the pancreatitis, which was induced by alcohol. And then a month later, his father passed of the same thing. So alcohol related and drug related, deaths are something that's not uncommon to me. My daughter's father actually also overdosed on crack cocaine when I was pregnant with her.
Oh my God.
These things, you know what I mean? These things, the signs are there. And if you truly care about the person, you know that this disease has been around for years and you know that the person is different. Wendy has the resources, but she's not being handled by the proper people. I don't know what more can be done on her behalf, but I do know I work for the state, which makes me a mandated reporter, like I said, and then I also take care of my husband, and then I also sign documents. If I see signs that someone is not handling things right, I literally had this person had done some things for me at my wedding. We're very, very close friends, and she was asking me to sign a document for her father, who I know is in the hospital suffering from dementia. He's in a skilled care facility suffering from dementia. I couldn't do it. My conscience couldn't allow me to do it. There has to be someone medically that can step up and intervene for Wendy. I'm just telling you, I see Anna Nicole and Michael Jackson. When you've been given these lives, that's all I see is Anna Nicole and Michael Jackson, where they're just allowed to kill themselves.
Wow. I mean, Negla's always in the chat. You never really know what the next person has gone through in their life. I would have never imagined that you have been through so much, especially being pregnant and then your child's father overdosing. That's a lot.
Overdose. I was 6 months pregnant. I gave birth to her at 7.5 months. Because, you know what? I will share part of my personal story. I knew I was pregnant. I didn't know what I was going to do in my life. And I started drinking to go to sleep. And when I told my doctor intervened and they did an early induction. And I gave birth to my daughter. Thank God. She has no sign. I mean, I'm talking about honor roll, perfect attendance. She's now, she's 11 years old. She's, wonderful, happy, and healthy. We were blessed. But I know what that struggle is. And I know that unless there's someone there that really gives us so-and-so about you, it's not going to get any better. Yes, you have to take personal responsibility, but it's not going to get any better if people are enabling you. And that's what I see around her. And yes, she's going to push away the people that are trying to help her get better. Her son, little Kevin. And
anybody who wants you to stop drinking. Anybody.
Exactly. And people don't understand, it's not just with her, it's not just about you want to drink. You want to escape. I didn't want to drink. I was pregnant with our child, and I knew that I could kill our child. It had nothing to do with that. It had to do with me wanting to go to sleep and not seeing his body. You see what I'm saying? So There's something that she's running from. Remember, she's had cocaine addiction years ago that she was an overcomer for, and more serious addictions than this. But the alcohol just never, that demon is still on her back.
Oh. Well, Negla, I want to thank you so much for sharing your story. This actually turned into like a testimony. So I'm sure this triggered you based on what you've been through. Cathartic?
It was cathartic, and I appreciate the opportunity to share. I just hope and pray somebody's listening. If you have Wendy Williams as a patient, you can make an you can make an adult protective services report. They are mandated to look into every case. Somebody should have done this years ago. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, man.
No,
this is triggering for me. Not that way, but Sorry.
No problem, Negla. I'm sorry you went through that. Honestly, I've been having my own struggles, but that was some. You went through all that and came out of it. Your child is surviving and thriving. You're surviving and thriving, and I think you really have to hold on to that thought because, like you said, it could have went a whole nother way, but it didn't. So that means that you actually you're here for a reason, and so is your daughter.
Absolutely. So. And I hope somebody can get through to Wendy and let her know that it's not too late. She can still have a good quality of life.
Quality of life is the best thing she can ask for. And what they had her in that apartment, none of that was quality.
Was prison. That was prison.
Right. a prisoner in your apartment with all your beautiful things and nobody around who really cares about you enough to stop you from. So thank you so much, Negla, for coming up. I
Thank you,
appreciate
dear.
it.
Keep it real, ma'am.
Yeah, and if you ever
All
need
right.
to, go ahead and DM me on Insta.
I
If you
got
need
you.
to talk.
Thank you so much, dear.
Yeah, no problem, Negla. Have a good
All
one.
right.
Boss
You too.
Linus, you're up, and just simply, I saw what you sent me. Thanks.
Hi, Mims. This
Hey,
is my first time here. How are you?
I'm good, and yourself?
Good. And hi, panel. I know people have probably spoke on this ad nauseum, but I definitely didn't like Sean, and I know a lot of people did.
Well, did you like her hair?
Oh, hell to the no, 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 as Sheree would say. But
Wendy was that was the only thing she liked about her.
well, I just one thing. Well, a couple things. I know the comment she made when they were in the car about asking when Sean asked Wendy, um, "Do you want to go to the Oscars?" And I hear certain people say that, every time I yell at my screen and say, "She said this weekend. Did she want to go to the Oscars this weekend?" Who the hell can go to the Oscars? This the same week. It's like, what type of PR person are you? It's like, what do you call it? It feels like career ending, the S word.
Right.
Like, 'cause there's no way somebody would hire you to say that, would you like to go to the Oscars this weekend? And oh well, we would have to find your dress. So no, we can't go. I'm like, what the hell is this? What did you think
That's not
about
what
this?
she said. She actually said, "We can get you a dress." That's
Oh,
what
she
she
did.
said. We can get you a dress. Sean had this
Okay.
pre-planned. Everything was pre-planned. It was like this was Wendy's escape exit route. That's what happened. This was the exit route that Sean had planned, and this was going to be Sean's big break into PR. I'm the one that got Wendy back on top. That's what she thought. Instead, what happened was she started going through Wendy's closet and wearing her old hair, like Mama Joyce had said about Karma.
Child, stop it!
Sean
Stop
was
it!
wearing Wendy's old hair. I'm
She
sorry.
got a feeling, huh? Well, one thing, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be. This is the only other thing I wanted to add, and I hope it's not too touchy, because, like you said,
No, I hope you're saying
I'm trying to be a straight shooter here, being the first time I'm coming up here. But to see, of course, I know you've seen it when people say she deserves what this outcome is for her is very saddening. And I feel like when I remember the times when Wendy was on the show, and of course, she had the hard hitting, hot topics. We all was there for those first 22 minutes to watch what she had to say about anybody. And I feel like when she spoke on different people, different celebrities, and then gave her opinion about those celebrities. Yes, it could be hard hitting sometimes, and below the belt and all that. That's where I feel what was kind of leveraged to match that was when her tea kind of starts spilling out, especially when Evelyn, when she said she gave birth to a cash register. Okay. Evelyn came right back saying, your husband came down here at my shoe shop and bought a size 9 shoe. You remember that? And so that was kind of the crack where we were like, oh, so he's seeing somebody, he dating somebody. And then she became the headline, then the baby, and she didn't want to speak. She became the hot topic that she didn't want to speak of. Now, if you want to say that's karma, that may be karma. If you say she speaks on everyone's business, but she has her business in house that she doesn't even want to speak on. But all this medical and all of these things that's happening to her, absolutely not. I do not think it's fair to ever say that the saddening condition she's in is karma. So I just had to say my piece on that.
I I don't personally feel like it's for karma, but when people feel strongly about it and they give their reasonings, like, okay, well, she, actively worked to destroy this person's life, or she outed this person for no reason, like she did Q-Tip. You know, Wendy Williams was the National Enquirer. She just kind of cleaned up her act for TV. But we all knew the real Wendy.
Right. And you know what trips me out when I hear you, even just now, when you talked about like you are fielding like two sources right now. And she always talked about her bureau. Now that I think about it, I'm like, can you imagine how many calls was coming to the Wendy Williams show? You get calls, Tasha K get calls, all these people that called to spill on celebrities. I couldn't even imagine what was happening at the Wendy Williams show.
Well, actually, technically, mine was invited. I put the word out that I wanted to help, or we wanted to help in any way we could,
Mhm.
and I guess people started vetting the channel, and
Mhm.
two people in the situation. Um,
Well, not so much this topic. It doesn't have to even be this topic. I'm just saying that people can tend to reach out
right.
to you, to Tasha, to anyone. And
Mhm.
I'm just saying, think about the size of the contact that you guys may have, and and times that by how many that that would call Wendy Williams show just to tell what's going on in the celebrity world. That's all
Oh
I
yeah,
wanted to
Wendy
mention.
had tips, especially when she was on the radio.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
I
that's all I wanted
there's
to.
not one blogger, vlogger, new age person who cannot look to Wendy and Whitney's like trajectory up for any type of inspiration. Wendy was the GOAT in this type of sector.
You better speak on that for sure.
That's just it is what it is.
That's true. That's true. And I thank you so much for your time. And I hope everyone has a wonderful evening.
Well, yeah, and definitely come back up, Boss Lioness.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Shanisha, you're up.
Hey, Mims.
Hey, what's up?
I just think this entire documentary it's just sad because I feel like Wendy has really spoke a lot about from the age of 6 she's had that desire or want to be famous, and I just feel like nothing has ever come before her wanting to be famous. I feel like even in her sickness she still wants to be in the spotlight. She, like you said, she loves the cameras, but I feel like Wendy has forgotten to do one of the things that she often would tell reality stars to do.
Shanisha, really quick. When you watch the documentary, what you
Mhm.
said just reminded me of this part when she said, "I know NBC is going to take me because I'm me. I'm
Yeah.
Wendy Williams." I was like,
It's
that
like
part.
you love it, but it's like, dang,
She
Wendy,
looks
like,
like the Joker.
oh goodness. But I just feel like Wendy has forgotten to go out on top. I just feel like the Wendy that we see now, TV days are over. Podcasts, it's just not happening. So I just think it's sad. And I think I think her family tries to come off a certain way, but I do think where there's smoke, there's fire. And I do think there's something shady about her family. And I think that includes her son a little bit. You can't make me believe her son wasn't sending Kevin Sr. money. Like, I believe he might have been sending his dad some cash. Dad's broke. I feel like he might have been sending cash over to Kevin Sr. And you can't make me understand why Kevin Jr. has $100,000 Uber Eats bill? Why? What are you ordering? What are you eating? I'm not understanding it. And I'll say this. Looking at the documentary, I can't help but wonder if there's some form of abuse happening between Wendy and the manager, Will. I think someone earlier in the panel mentioned how she had about $18,000 lying around. Will is very similar to her ex husband in that he allows Wendy to think she's in control, but there's certain manipulative ways that they have where they can get her to comply with whatever they're wanting. Why does Wendy have $18,000 lying around the house? No one's hiring her for any work. So it makes me feel like they're probably feeding the paparazzi, letting them know where Wendy's going to be, when she's going to be there, giving tips, leaking information and getting paid off of it. Because how does Wendy have $18,000 just laying around like that? And I'm not sure if anyone else noticed Wendy's bed, but it just stuck out to me how ripped up it was. And like I said, it makes me think there's some sort of abuse happening on the sides of the bed. I mean, there were parts where the inside was completely exposed. Now, I know she has cats, but the positioning of the rips was just interesting to me. It almost made me feel like, I wonder if they're even tying her up in some cases. Mims, I
No,
know.
I mean, no, you're not the first person to say this.
I know
You think there's
it
elder
just makes
abuse,
me,
but she's
yeah.
technically not an elder. I mean, she's only 59.
Well,
I don't know. I hope and pray that they are not tying that woman up. I don't remember her trying to hide any scars or anything. I hope that that's not the case.
and the only other moment that was a bit weird to me, I'm not sure if you remember when they were trying to get Wendy out of the bed. I think it was episode the second part. And there was a young lady in the room. She kept trying to get Wendy up. Wendy wouldn't get up. Will came in. He was a bit aggressive with her, but it was one part she started apologizing to him and she was very apologetic. She said, "I'm sorry," about 7 or 8 times. She was like, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was you. I didn't know it was you." And it just gave me a little cringy feeling. I do feel like there's some form of abuse. I'm not sure if it's physical. I definitely believe it's a little mental abuse going on there because Will can dangle that, we're gonna get you back in the spotlight, podcast, TV. He's dangling opportunities over her head, definitely. But the whole situation is just sad. You never want to see someone have this sort of downfall. I do wish she was just at home with her family and living a private and quiet life. Because a lot of what we're seeing, I just don't feel like we should see. So it just makes me sad. But that's all I had, Mims. Thanks for letting me come up.
I said you're more than welcome anytime.
Thank you.
All right. Nikita, you're up.
Hey.
Hey, what's
You
going
ain't
on?
catch me with my hair not done this time. Oh, first thing I'll just kind of lead with the positives. I felt like her nephew and her son were the most sobering minds in this whole entire thing. You could tell that Kevin really did not want to be there, that he was really there to be advocating on behalf of his mother. You could tell he really truly loves his mother. And was very protective of her, even him and his cousin, when the wine came and he's like, "Who ordered this wine?" And then both of them took the wine. I don't even know if they were really drinking it, but they made sure that they had it and nobody, was going to make sure to give it to her. And when she tried, she said, "Well, I want some." And he was like, "Give her a Coke." Like they weren't having it. But another thing that I want to say, people have mentioned like Sean. I don't want to touch on that. I think that some of what was going on obviously was strange and weird. But as a trained mental health professional, as I told you guys before, when somebody is going through a delusion, you kind of just go with it. You don't oftentimes try to challenge it. And I think that for a lot of the times when they just were kind of letting her go with it, not taking her to LA. That's crazy. Not having her in this meeting because that was foolishness, or the Oscars or whatever. The Sean lady was out there. But like with some of the things that Will was just kind of like spoon feeding her, I think he just was trying to give her just moments of glimpse of her own life and happiness. Because we see like the things that Wendy valued. She valued, her little nuclear family with Big Kev and Little Kev. And she talked about that on the show, not making friends with celebrities. She didn't have a lot of personal friends. She goes home and she cooks dinner and she gets up and she goes to work. Like, I think that in her mind.
But, okay. As an avid Wendy watcher, Nikita, I took everything she said at face value.
Right.
Little Kev let us know that she was always an alcoholic, and then nephew who lived with them said that Wendy came home at 5 and went right to bed.
That was at that time. That was when when Kelvin was really out with that lady and had the baby. We talking about the ending of their.
When did the nephew move in? He said he lived with them for he lived with them for years.
He said like, I don't remember if it was college or high school, but those kids are like 20, 25, 20, they're young. So it would have still been around 2017, 2018, 2019. And that's when he was running with that woman. And I believe that Wendy let him have that girl. I think that girl was a third in their marriage. I think that was something that they negotiated. But she did not expect, especially with her history of having all of those miscarriages and whatnot, was this baby. I think once the baby happened and it was out in the open and she became the hot topic, she had to try to put her foot down. But Kevin, just like the nephew said, I'm not a big fan of my uncle, but my uncle at least reined her in. He made sure that she did what she was supposed to do, and that wasn't an easy job. And I think that this is something that's what.
But he made millions for it. He made millions for it. And that baby represented not only somebody who had her husband and the embarrassment that would come with that, but that baby also represented that something that Wendy could never have. She'd already had all those miscarriages, and she knew that her son was going to be it. Now you're giving her something that I, struggled to have. Like, that was definite a blow. That was
I agree, but I'm saying that for her, had this all happened in isolation outside of the public eye, I think that her and her husband probably would have been able to work it out any way that they could have, because people come back from infidelity. People come back from outside babies every day. I know, right? But what I'm saying is because it happened the way that it happened, like we really saw a trickle down effect of like a cascade of things that happened. And when I watched the documentary, I watched it through the lens of somebody who was really looking at somebody reap the consequences of the things that they valued. She valued her small family and shutting everybody else out of that situation. She valued celebrity and, being in that world, but not in that world. She valued, fame at all costs. And she valued this idea of being protected by any old man. And that's what Will represents for her. I think when she apologized so much, it wasn't that she was afraid that he was going to abuse her. She was afraid that he was going to leave her. The prevailing thing that we saw in this Wendy Williams documentary is loneliness. The sheer sadness and loneliness of a woman who had everything and had nothing at the same time. And even for me, as somebody who does what I do, there were days that I didn't speak to anybody but my patients. I had to get out of that. I had to cultivate my friends and be able to like navigate friendships again in social settings and decide what I really valued. And what I really value is people more than things. And that has to be curated. And Wendy, she never really got curating that, because I think there's something in her, whether it comes from family trauma, and that I respect that family. They all look all educated and, you know, AKAs and all of the good Black things. But something else is going on within that family dynamics that's not healthy, that did not set her up in a space to be healthy. It set her up to be driven. It set her up to be famous, but not to put her in a healthy headspace.
Wow.
That said, we live in a fast money world right now. And I think if Wendy can stop drinking, and if she can get her health under control, there are a lot of factors, especially for a woman of her age who have dementia. You know, we could run down the gamut. But if she can stop drinking, if you really truly watched it, there were times that she was absent and she was loopy and she was weird. But Wendy is always, I'm a lifelong New Yorker. I've listened to WBLS and Kiss and all of that. She's always been a little strange. Even when you've seen her out in public, she's always been a little strange. This is different.
I'm a little strange.
This is different, right? But I think that if Wendy could really get herself to a place where she can be on something, I think there's a chance for her to come back, but not until she's healthy and not until she gets around people who really truly loves her in a way that she really truly believes she's loved. And I don't think that that's something that she has, and I think that that's something that she's missing. And every single day I work with women and people who are just dying inside of loneliness. All of the traumas that we see is really about being lonely and being emotionally abused and emotionally abandoned. And it really made me, you know, as a woman of a certain age, I'm not Wendy's age yet, but you know, it's down the road, allowed me to see, well, damn, what do I value? And how can I pour into my circle and make sure that my circle pours into me?
Wow.
And that was my takeaway.
It just makes me sad, to be honest with you. But thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nikita, for coming up. It's gonna be a long night.
Just love all your friends, man.
No, that's not why. That's not.
No, I know, but that's my takeaway from it. Just love on your loved ones, love on your friends, build your communities. Like even what you do here, Mims, I'm telling you, I watch you, I respect you, even when sometimes people are not so nice. You keep it together. I see you successfully navigate and gather people and keep it going. You don't block them, and just everything that you do and that you provide on the space here, it can be a healing space. But even outside of this, right? Outside of this, you are whoever you are, whoever your real name is, whenever you go out into the community, and continue to be a light and build your safe spaces. We all deserve safe spaces. And I saw a woman that just did not have any safe spaces. And that really saddened me. That saddened me more than anything, more than the dementia, more than any of it. Because the drinking, she can stop. The dementia, she can be treated. But she does not feel loved. And this woman feels abandoned, and she's lonely.
She's broken.
She's lonely.
But Nikita, thank you so much for coming up. You know, you're more than welcome anytime. I definitely appreciate it. I definitely appreciated your thoughts and compassion for the situation. But when I said it's going to be a long night, after this, I got to go on about Diddy.
Oh, Jesus. I'm out of here.
I already have the court documents. So thank you so much. It's crazy.
I hit you behind the scenes about that. But
all right. Thank you so much, Nikita.
All right.
Shadavia, did I say that right?
Shadavia.
Sorry about that. You know I will butcher your name. What's your thoughts on the situation?
First, okay, I got a few thoughts. I wrote some stuff down.
All right, coming with the notes.
I think Wendy, yes, she has dementia, but I think sometimes when she snap on those people, it's because she know those people are using her. And she has those little glimpses, and she take those time to say little slick stuff to them. Like, she knows Sean ain't about nothing. But Sean lets her do whatever she wants to do. So when she have her moment, she tells Sean like, "Oh, I wish you would get lipo." Like this, to stick it to her because you're fake. We're both being fake with each other because you give me what I need, I give you what you need. Because Sean look like she drank too,
Sean is the devil.
and we'll a little bit. And then I think, why is her mattress on the floor so low? And Wendy is such a tall woman, I don't know why her mattress looks like it's just sitting on the floor. I don't think anybody is like, tying her up to that bed. I just think they don't care. Because like how they said it was cat throw up and all the stuff around, they don't clean up. So the cats probably do whatever. Everybody just do whatever. They just don't keep the place tidy, I guess. And then I had a question earlier. I watched your live and you said that Sabrina took Little Kev to rehab for the synthetic. I did not know that.
Yeah, the way I found out was Kevin said she's a part of the team, she's a part of the family, and she was there with little Kev.
Okay, because then that adds to what I always thought. I don't think Wendy wanted to leave Big Kev. I think she was cool with the situation as long as,
He let her drink.
let her drink. And then, of course, she had to do what most people do when people find out their man is cheating on them. You got to cause a scene and say, "Oh, I'm leaving," because it was becoming too much, because I remember when the first stories would come out and she lifted her hand up, was like, as long as I still got this ring on. But then more stories kept coming. More stories kept coming. So she can't talk the trash she talk on the show and then still stay with her man. But I'm low key wishing she just would have stayed with her man. I wish she would have been like, "I'm staying with him. That's our business. Next story." So that we could have still kind of had the same Wendy for a little bit. I don't like Will. He does not know what he's doing. He's fake. I feel like at one point he just started to act like he was looking for liquor and stuff. Throw away or act like he was doing that because there's no reason why Wendy should have had that big bottle of liquor, or at least if she did have the bottle, somebody should at least been putting water in it to dilute it a little bit so she really won't be drinking like that.
Now, okay, Wendy has dementia, but she knows when she's getting her fix. So
Well,
she would have known that.
She would have
Like
had
when
to
he was
keep
like,
pouring.
I gave her apple juice instead of champagne.
I think that keep some liquor in there, but just water it down so she's gonna have to drink 3-4 bottles before she get what she need to get at.
No,
Because
just
it's
leave her
just
with
half
her son
water.
where she knows she can't drink. Leave her with the son where she knows she can't drink, or somebody really needs to speak truth to power to her and let her know that this is slowly taking your life.
Yeah.
This is taking your life. But when you're in
I
that
don't
type
think she
of
cares because, like she said, it was good to kind of hear to know that Wendy is the one that's kind of keeping her family at bay because she wants to drink her liquor. That's why she doesn't want to go with her son or be with her son. I did think it was kind of odd that they didn't really embrace after not seeing each other for 8 months. She just lifted her hands up and touched his hand. Like, no, I felt like for the family to not have seen her for 8 months, it was never no like big hugs of tears. "Oh, we're glad to see that you're alive." I think they were all in a state of shock to see how she looked when they went to that dinner. Little Kev and the nephew, but still, it was no embracing. Like, "Oh, mom." I thought that was pretty odd. Hold on. I love the nephew. I think he's handsome. I think little Kev is handsome. They raised him well. I think that's all I had on my notes.
I agree with you though. Little Kev and his cousin came out to be very on it young men. Like they seem to be very aware, and considering what they were raised in, because there's all types of accusations of how abusive Big Kev was. Even one of Wendy's employees sued because she said that Kev pushed her when she rejected his advances. He pushed her up against a wall at the office. And all those times that we saw Wendy just break down crying, and she would like on the after shows, and she'd be like, "Get out, get out." You never really know. You really never know now what was going on. But thank you for that, Shadavia.
Shadavia. And one more thing too. I thought if Will had the power just to call the guardian and say, "Oh, she needs to be in a facility," why didn't he do that way sooner? I just thought that was, you waited so long to call because he's like he got with the guardian and they put her with in the facility. But I'm like, if you knew she was drinking bottles like that, why didn't you call the guardian way before and put her in a facility and just allowing her to sit there?
Because what's her name came around and he realized he was about to be out the door and he realized he couldn't make any money off her, so she can go ahead and go. He realized that Wendy wanted her gone. That whole thing of I'm so sorry is because Wendy knew she was doing something bad. She's not, she's under the influence. She's struggling with dementia, but she knows that she put him in place, and now she wants him gone because he's stopping her from doing what she wants to do. So, but she's still scared of him because he's forceful with her and curses her out.
Yeah, like a fake calf.
Yeah, it's really bad. But she played the hell out of Sean.
Oh yeah, but it's okay. Don't nobody like Sean.
All right, thank you so much for coming up.
All right, thank you.
Lisa, you're up.
Hi, Mills.
Hey, Lisa.
Yeah, I was on there when you was on there earlier, but I was on Diva channel. We was watching the live with Diva and Princey last night, and what I had, because the first night I was in tears. I really was, because this is my girl. Wendy Wynn was my girl. I used to love to see her do the hot topics. And I mean, cause you know me, I told you I boycotted Sherry Shepherd show because you remember I was telling you that I was gonna boycott it. I said I'm not watching it. I don't care what nobody say. I'm some with Wendy Williams, but now I understand because Kevin Jr. said when they was talking to the producers and everybody that she's not well to come back. She's not well to come back, y'all. She's not well. I mean, because that was my girl show. Wendy Williams show, but now I'm into Sherry now because I like her. I like the way she do hot topics because she make me laugh. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with Sherry now. I'm with Sherry now. So, but Wendy Williams was my girl and I loved her. But I'm gonna tell you something. I would Sean could go. I'm like Wendy. You need some lipo. Do something whatever you need to do. Because even the driver said before all this for him. Yeah, I heard her driver said. I wish she just go back to being the sweet woman that I used to drive around. Mm-hmm. He said that. He said now she have her good days, she have her bad days, and sometimes be the bad days. Sometimes I can get my Wendy back. And I kept hearing it, but I'm gonna say it like this right here. I believe there is something going on because Dee was talking today about Kevin Hunter. The husband came out and said that the family, something about Wanda, if I'm not too sure, Wanda probably stole like $15 million, trying to get $15 million because you remember Wanda had said she was working with them, then suddenly they took it away from her. She was no longer involved. And I also believe when you spend like $100, I believe what Fred Fargo was talking about, spend $100,000 some dollars on a party and also on excessive Uber Eats or whatever they were doing. I think they flagged her card because they seen people spend a lot of money because banks know what you spend every month. Banks know when banks look at they have people who look at bank statements all day long. They know what you buy every month, every day, and they see what you buy and they flag your card. That's why they tell you that's why they tell when you got fall coming through. If this is a fall purchase or this like your card get flagged. They know what you do. They know what you doing. So Fergago said, something's not going right with Miss Wendy Williams' card. Something's not going right. And they flagged it up. You know what I'm saying? Because too much money was coming out her account. And they know, like I said, banks know real. Banks know, if you go buy 6 TVs, smart TVs, and you're like, hold on, this price is for real? or this a fraud, and they send the fraud leg up and they flag your car, they give you notice, is this you or it's not you? You know what I'm saying? So I think that will happen. They spend a lot of money down in Florida though. There was too much money going on her card. I really do, I believe they did that. So, and also I believe Will is trying. He was trying, like, couldn't get her with the liquor. He said, "Don't give her no liquor, sir. Give her some."
You think that Will was trying to help Wendy?
I really, because I was like you at first too. I was like you at first too. Something's not right by him. But then I said he's trying to get liquor. He's trying to stop her from drinking, and I believe he was getting affirmation from the guardianship and from her family. He thought
you, Lisa. Is it something more? You find Will attractive?
No.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Thank you so much, Lisa, for coming up. You are always absolutely hilarious.
If that's me or you, my mic keep getting mic'd up. Muted.
It might be yours.
Okay, but now I just want to say that, and I just wish, I'm like Will. He said all three of them got to come together: guardianship, the family, and him, and everybody got to come together. Make sure she is well. Like the woman said, I don't know what's going on. I wish they gonna have to work together. Or this document, I think the reason why she probably did the documentary that show the guardianship is not doing its job.
I think they need.
Ain't no way. I think they need to kick off. They truly need to kick off, because ain't no way when the wind cat throw up and clothes and stuff shall be everywhere. Somebody should, like she said, somebody need to be looking out the window 24/7. Right. And also, I want to tell y'all this. Y'all said how she getting alcohol? You said how she getting?
There's an echo every time you talk, or every time I speak. So we're gonna have to wrap this one up because I'm gonna be going live in 30 minutes.
Okay, let me say this one more thing. You can have alcohol delivered in New York. People want to know how she can get the alcohol, because she can order on her phone, and she can get the alcohol delivered.
Somebody's ordering
it for her. She can maybe order for some. She might be in her frame of mind, and when she makes it, ooh, I can get alcohol delivered. Or she might have the doorman. The doorman might come get the alcohol. They might get the doorman. She might tell the doorman, I got alcohol on the way. Can't you bring it up to me?
I could see that being the case.
Yeah. Okay, baby. Love you.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. Michael, you are up.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Where are you at with this situation?
She was around like a whole bunch of opportunists. That's what it was from day one. Who didn't care. I've seen it because I used to do housekeeping in a nursing home. And and people who did like assisted living, I would do that housekeeping in there. And you'd have people who just the main thing they wanted was money from day one. Even the people who go in, you also got to watch family members as well, because they'll be like the person who's responsible for them, and they'll do the same thing. They just want money, and half of them won't even show up to the house of the person who lives there or tend to the person that lives there. They had another Lifetime movie years ago when the daughter was the conservator for the mom, and she ended up killing her mom because her mom was her life insurance with a whole bunch more.
I believe it. So, having worked in a nursing home, I assume that you've been around people with dementia.
Yeah, I have.
Do you feel like, so we saw Wendy kind of be aggressive with people. She made nasty comments. Is that common?
Yeah, that's yeah. A lot of people don't even know what's happening majority of the time.
So it makes them kind of like angry?
Yeah.
That's good insight to have. Is there anything else you've seen around being around dementia patients?
I I seen this one woman when I was working there. She never came out of her room. She would just be in her room, and she wouldn't even speak to people. And if you came in there, she would get very violent because she didn't even know who half of these people were. These are just people just walking in and out of life. One woman thought she well, it might have been Alzheimer's, but she thought she was like a teenage girl, and she was an older lady.
I mean, that's kind of what I thought. I had kind of experienced a little bit of that. Like I said, being around somebody who was ill right before they passed away, they would have like kind of mood swings, but I just always took it on my chin because I knew, she was in a lot of pain.
Yeah. It's hard for the family. There was this older lady, and she was like, she was a racist. I remember she called me the N-word one time when I went into her room to clean it.
Wow. But I assume that you also take it on the chin because it's not really who they are.
Yeah.
All right, Michael, did you have anything else to add?
I think that Kevin Sr. was the one who alerted Wells Fargo because he was upset that he wasn't getting any money.
I mean, it could be I don't know. He did say that there was allegations that 5 to 15 million was being taken out from the sister, but then he deleted that tweet. So
yeah,
I think he's just looking for attention. He needs the money. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's trying to stir up some shit so that somebody will interview him for like with a paid interview.
Yeah, them checks stop. But I really feel bad for Wendy because they because if you watch the show back, like this is before like COVID, she before COVID had happened, she would like forget stuff as well. And they had like Norman or Suzanne or Suzanne's husband would have to remind her.
Those are some good points. But thank you so much, Michael, for coming up. And come up anytime. I definitely appreciate it.
Yeah. This is my first time, but I've been watching you for like 2-3 years. So
yeah, definitely come up. I don't know why people be so scared. They think that we're gonna get you on the panel.
How do you become a member? Because I forgot how you do it.
There's a link to the membership in the description of each video.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks, Michael, and I appreciate you watching for the last couple of years. Yeah, y'all. This Diddy stuff, I read over the lawsuit. It's crazy. So 30 minutes after this live ends, I'll be live. And this lawsuit contains everybody. Cuba Gooding Jr., the son. Now, y'all gonna say how the son get in it? The son is in it. We're talking Young Miami's cousin. We're talking SCX workers. We're talking people that are underage. It's crazy. So Darcel, you're up, but 30 minutes after this, we'll be live again. Darcel, you're muted.
Hey, Mims.
Hey.
Before I say what I have to say, which son, Justin or Christian?
Justin.
I'm not surprised.
Oh,
okay.
no!
I'm not surprised. Okay, so before I talk my opinion real quick, because I did my homework.
Okay.
I just want to say, Big Kevin shouldn't be talking. He out here trucking and driving, trying to tap dance to get any type of say. Sir, you have nowhere to speak as you went and spent your wife's money to go get your side piece a house down the street and cars and her failed business ventures. You have no reason to talk. So worry about that before you do anything else. Now, the whole people, Bernie failed her, Denmark Mercury failed her, Lori Shiver failed her, Judge Lisa, because I got the whole name, who's running this whole conservatorship, failed her, Sabrina Mosley failed her, Sean and that disheveled wig failed her, Keisha and that devilish grin she had failed her. Will trying to be Big Kev really failed her. I'm sorry, because when he was up there saying that, telling her when she was in that bed that those people ain't her friends, how are you going to mention friendship with her when friendship is not intertwined with you? Y'all two don't know each other. You was a user. You was complacent. I don't feel bad for Sabrina because not Sabrina, Sean, that disheveled wig kind of shook me for a second. I don't feel bad for her because of the simple fact when she got yelled at, Wendy always knew when she was around snakes. So when she quickly was with it, and like everyone said, you have to have tough skin to work with Wendy Williams. It's not no playground. So when she has said to Alex that she handles finances, I'm sorry. I can't trust anybody whose wig is disheveled and the leave out is not even correctly done to trust my finances, because you're just letting me know that you make reckless decisions. We saw it as they went to California. You let that woman get a drink right before a meeting. Reckless decisions. I'm glad for that male producer who was out there clocking it. He was he checked in, he was doing his job, he was getting his check. Because when he checked Sean about all that stuff, she kept trying to deflect every chance she could. When he asked Alex, what normally happens when you come and see your aunt? She'll normally say, oh, there's water in the fridge, or there's food, this, that, whatever. When he said, go check the fridge, she said, I'd rather not. That let me know everything I needed to know then. I said, oh, ain't shit there. Ain't shit there. And then for Will to be up here acting like when the cameras were catching on and he was up there trying to check and he's like, oh, why is the money that you try to make yourself look like you was perfect? Sir, you're not perfect. You was far from perfect. All this showed is that you fucked up. All of y'all fucked up. And then for him to even say that the Guardian did not even know about Sean. So who hired Sean?
I
Because for
think
you
Will
to,
did.
like I said, a whole bunch of complacent people and yes men around her. And then if anybody really knows, because I saw it on Twitter with the discourse of people trying to come at Alex, Wendy has always said Alex was the daughter that she could never have. That's why Alex came. When she came at Wendy, I was like, at least somebody who really cares did. Now, to the two people that I want to say, then I'm going to land my plane.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember when they put Wendy in this conservatorship back in May of 2022, which lets me know that they were filming this in 2023, because that's when Kevin was up there little Kevin was being threatened by Judge Lisa Sokoff for kidnapping Wendy when she went to Florida. And he even said it when he did an interview back with The Source about the matter. And he was highly upset because he said he hasn't seen his mom. What really made me kind of shake my head and be like, this is a whole I care a lot movement that I'm seeing. When I read the background of Judge Lisa A. Sokoloff, you're supposed to be beef for women and gender fairness because you're currently on the New York Supreme Court Board Fairness Committee. Obviously, you don't give a damn. As for the good old conservator, which really made me cackle, Sabrina E. Morsley, she's a part of the New York Women's Bar Association. Both of them supposed to be for women, but if you're for women, why is this black woman not being handled correctly? See, I work for the New York State. Under New York, they consider senior citizens 65 and older. That's what CMS has them labeled as. Wendy is not considered, but due to her declining health, they would consider her, if she wasn't Wendy Williams, that we know she's just regular smegla deckler girl in New York, she'll be considered as a senior citizen because of her whole mental illness.
Right.
Them people felt her so badly. And then what really pissed me off, because I couldn't finish watching it, the scene that made me, and I knew when my DVR said we got to cut the bullshit, when both Lil Kev and Travis walked in there. Because when Will was up there trying to say, yeah, you know how these boys are, they don't care. Sir, and you heard what Wendy said, he will come. She knows her son. You can't bullshit a bullshitter. He tried to pull the Spengali and it didn't work. And then when he saw them walking in, you saw how he tried to be like, oh, hey. Neither one of them looked that man in the face. It was like, hey, hi, mom. And then he tried to be like, oh, let me give you your space and blah, blah, blah. No. Fuck that man. He can rot in hell. All of them can rot in hell. Excuse my French. They can all rot. I am pissed that this
Let us know
woman
how
is
you
under
really
this
feel,
condition.
Darcel.
I'm going to say it like I mean it, because Wendy was one of the reasons why I went to school for new media journalism. Her, Tom Jordan, and Donnie Simpson. If you know, you know. Them three ran radio. They perfect. Wendy, because if you want the mess in the tea, you got them. Donnie, when you want the old school, and you know he was a good smuggler, deckler, fine man. And then Tom Jordan, when you know with your grandparents, something y'all can listen to. Those three. But to see her go from how you doing to what the fuck is alarming. But that's all I gotta say, because I'm getting really heated and I feel like I need to go swing the air and punch somebody because I'm pissed.
Well, no, I
I'm
mean,
really pissed.
I can definitely feel that, and we should be. We're watching somebody who meant a lot to a lot of us, kind of like decline in front of our face.
And they're trying to play in our face with it, which is really upsetting. Because my whole thing and what everyone really should do, when it goes up for reevaluation, they also need to look at that judge too. Judge Lisa need to go and Sabrina need to go.
So they all gotta go.
All of them. Gutter trash. Gutter snipe trash.
Well, thank you so much for coming up. I kind
You're
of
welcome.
thought it was dope how impassioned you were. I
Look,
think
first
more
time I was
people.
up here, I was coy. I was coy with the boys, but now.
Now you're a regular. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate you, Darcel.
You welcome. Bye, y'all.
Bye. Connie, you're up.
Hello, Mims, and thank you for this opportunity. I just want to bring up something. The young lady that just got off, she brought up some valid points about the courts and everything. But what I want to get to, that guardianship, this is how I feel, is fraudulent, is scam, because a whole lot of it really focus on a whole lot of elderly people get scammed.
There's a lot of static.
Yes.
Are you super close to the microphone?
Yes, I am.
Maybe if you back up a little bit.
Am I too close?
I think, yeah, there's a lot of static.
Oh, wow. Let me try to turn it down.
Well, no, just make sure you back away from it a little bit.
Okay. Do I still sound like I'm close?
The static is still really bad.
Okay, let me do one more thing.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I clear? Okay. What I was trying to say is that I feel like this is a project that's going on because it's a lot of this thing is going on in the world where a lot of people is not, don't see. And guardianship. There's a clan, there's a group of people that scam people out of their money, and that's including the banks, the judge, the lawyer, the doctors. And what they do is they isolate these people that they take. They isolate them from their friends, they isolate them from their family, and then they put them into a facility where nobody know where they're at. They put them on psych drugs, and this is what I feel is happening to Wendy. She's on some kind of medication on top of the alcohol. That team she has there is part of the guardianship. It's all in the plan. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I get it.
Yeah, so I really think this is what's happening to Wendy. And there's a documentary that's out, which I would love for you to see. I believe it's on Prime Video and YouTube. It's called The Guardian. You get a chance and you can watch that. There is people there, they're showing that family is and I really don't think their family is really scandalous, excuse me, French. But I don't think nobody really want to take her money. But I really think they do have some concern about her health and they want to be involved.
I think some people want to take her money.
Excuse me?
I think some people want to take her money.
I don't think
about this. Nobody is caring. Nobody cares about, say, the homeless person on the street who has an alcohol problem, who's battling dementia. They're not putting guardians in place to protect all Americans. They're putting guardians in place to protect Americans who have money. So as soon as I see them picking up maybe homeless people on the street who have dementia and assigning them a guardian, then I'll know that they truly care about everybody.
Exactly. I agree with you on that. But when you get a chance, because I won't hold you up because I know you got something else to do. When you get a chance, watch the documentary. Is called The Guardian. The lady mentioned a movie, but it does have some truth in it. But this is a documentary. And then you can see that all different families are going to the court to fight for, their family, how loved ones had just been taken away, like kidnapped, been taken away from their home. They've been put in a facility, husband or wife not knowing where they're at. And what is happening is when I say dementia, she says she's been seduced. It's seduced dementia she has. And then the medication she's on, and plus the alcohol. And that's where her health is just constantly declining. It's because of those two. Wendy said something. I didn't watch the whole documentary, but I have it recorded. Wendy said something. She said when she went to go see her doctors, she said, I went to go see my doctor, but I thought it was my thyroid doctor. She said, but I seen two other doctors that was appointed from Wells Fargo's. Do you remember that?
I believe so, yeah.
Yes. So a lot of stuff is appointed by the guardians, and a lot of times they all in the cahoots together. They all get paid. So when you get a chance, I just want you when you get a chance, please, if you have not seen this documentary, watch it. It's called The Guardian. Then you get a good idea of what's going on with Wendy.
I'll definitely will check that out along with I Care a Lot. I've been hearing a lot about that one too.
No, watch this documentary because these are true live people.
No, I said I would watch both. Connie said, no, you're going to watch The Guardian first.
You get a good idea, but I care a lot. That's good too. But when you get a chance, get an idea because this is more, and it's more than what we see.
No, I
it's
believe
more,
it. And it scares the hell out of me.
Huh?
And it scares the hell out of me.
Yes, definitely. And so when you get a chance, I mean, well, I lost my thought what I was going to say, but yeah, I'm not. I won't. Like I said, I won't hold you up. But when you get a chance, watch those movies. Okay.
Will do. Thank you so much, Connie.
All right. You take care. Thank you.
Thank you
for your time.
No, thank you for coming up. You're welcome anytime, Connie.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Okay. So we got some homework for the people in the chat. This was a different kind of open panel. Everybody kind of talked and had their own piece to say. There wasn't a back and forth. In the replay gang, let me know if you prefer these kind of panels or if you want to go back to No Holds Bars grudge match. Either way it goes. What I have done is I dropped the link to my Diddy video that's going to start right after this one. I already have all the court documents pulled up. So y'all click that link while I go ahead and read the super chats. But yeah, the Diddy stuff is crazy. The Diddy stuff is I would say sick. There's underage allegations in this, and this boy said every day somebody was trying to play with his manhole. Cuba Gooding Jr. It's a lot. So go ahead and click that link. I dropped it. Let me go ahead and pin it in this chat, but let me get to these super chats too. Oh, wait, crap. It's a lot going on. Diddy, but I'm not surprised Diddy has another lawsuit. Okay, so the message is pinned with the link, so it'll be at the top of this chat. Like I said, I'll be going live, but let's see what y'all had to say. I'm nervous because the first person who sent a super chat was Booty Butter. Booty Butter says, get Tulsa off. She needs a guardian too. Tulsa can be here. Stop. MB, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate you. Brittany says they made her son the problem after he declined for her to go back to work until she got better and took him off as her power of attorney. I definitely think that was part of it, Brittany. He was part of what they perceived to be the problem, keeping her away from work. And that's the real problem. Happy says, Wendy has Graves' disease, and that alone will have you with fog brain. I have questions like, what medications is she taking from experience? I know that Graves' thyroid disease is wicked on the body. Whatever it is, it can't be counteracting very well with the alcohol. Negla says, Mims, every live panel, my husband, Jack, also asks to say hello. Well, hey, Jack, please. Oh, well, what's up, Jack, Negla's husband? Thanks for watching. He wants to be a straight shooter as well. Well, if he's watching, he already is. Monique says, hi, I'm a psychiatric nurse practitioner, and I would like to say a few words. How do I get on the panel? Oh, I wish I would have seen this. The link was dropped, Monique. So maybe tomorrow when I go live, if you're there, I'll just allow you to say what you had to say. I'll drop the link just for you. Kathy, thank you for becoming a member. And Just Patches. Oh, that was nice. Just Patches gifted 5 of y'all a membership. So do I think that removing the breast implants would help? Yes. Hasn't she had those for like 20 years? I definitely think removing those would help. Definitely. But at this point, how do you stop her? You know what I mean? How do you go about stopping an adult if she was playing with them when she was doing the documentary, asking if they wanted to see her? So there's some more stuff going on. I heard that there's a lawsuit that I'll try to get into tomorrow, but what's about to happen is definitely Diddy. Ruby King, thank you so much for subscribing. We are heading over to my other video where the link has been dropped to go over this lawsuit about Diddy. It is sick. It is twisted. This is going to be the third time I'm on the day. Cue the content guy. Thanks. He said, good evening. I know Cokehead Sean. I know Cokehead Sean when I see one. Anyone with a bad blend and their hair like that shouldn't be trusted. Nor on the street. Get Sean out of here. And Will the scammer. And you know she was going to wear that hair to the Oscars. Sean wasn't going to do nothing but put on a dress and hit that red carpet at the Oscar. Thank you, Q. Miss Mina, the Leo, we're actually going over to my other video that's about to premiere. It's talking about Diddy. So everybody who's in here, hit that link right now. I'm just going to get some water and we are going to start that video. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Thanks everybody for the super chats. I wish I could say goodnight, but we about to get into this whole lawsuit. So see y'all there.